Welcome to PA Timber Goose. This is another video about junior hunters. How do we build junior hunters? Started shooting a BB gun at a very early age, about 8 or 9, and then around 10 or 11 I moved into a better air rifle and a 22. We were always shooting in the woods on dumps, shooting bottles and rats. A lot of the kids miss out on that today, spending time with your parents, shooting a BB gun and a bow in the backyard. These things are not electronic, and it's a great time. It's a great way to spend time with your kids. Here's the newer version of the Red Rodder BB gun. I still do have my old one. This is a newer one, and this one actually has the safety on it, which mine did not. And most hunters usually start out with this BB gun in the backyard. As the famous movie goes, you will shoot your eye out with this. They do have a tendency to ricochet. You do want to have a fairly good backstop, preferably an old carpet or some bed sheets or something to stop the BBs from ricocheting and hitting something. Plywood is not the way to go. I have been hit in the face with BBs from this. They do ricochet. For some odd reason, they have a habit of ricocheting straight back at you and hitting you in the fingers or hitting bystanders or whizzing past you. So you definitely don't want to be very close. You want to be at least 20 yards away. This gun's not very accurate. This will definitely teach your son or daughter how to shoot a gun. It will give them the muscle memory to later on in life become a deer hunter. And it's a lot of fun. You could buy this at Walmart for $35. I actually bought 3 of these, and I took this on a family vacation. And the entire family spent the whole week shooting tin cans out of the tree. It was a lot of fun with the grandkids and my stepson. So this is definitely a way to go if you have a young hunter in the family that's interested. You want to buy them this first. The ammo is very cheap. It's much safer than giving them a real gun, but I highly recommend wearing safety glasses and definitely some adult supervision. This is about $10 at Walmart. Very cheap. It's a whole day's worth of fun in this bottle. Okay, I have a target set up there. I have a can of soda and a bottle of water, and I'm about 20 yards away. So we will move the camera up there, and we'll see what the Red Rodder BB gun can do. And we'll continue on to some beginner bows to start your kids on archery. And I'll show you my dad's recurve bear bow. He took some deer with that. So let's move the camera here, see what we can do with this Red Rodder BB gun. Not bad. Not bad for a $35 spring action BB gun. It's one in the front there, and the pressure from it just blew it out the back. One down, one shot, one kill. It's definitely a lot of fun. If you buy more than one of those guns and you have a safe place to shoot, it's a lot of family fun you can all do together. And there's the BBs in the bottom here. You can see them. You can actually see the water running out of here. So be very careful when you shoot that BB gun. It does have a very strong tendency to ricochet, and most of my shots are 20 yards away. And I do have glasses on, so one of those would come back and hit me. My eyes are protected, but you do ricochet. Make sure your vehicles and everything are away from the area where you're shooting. There's the BBs. And doesn't have a lot of power. About 20 yards is it, but you can shoot pretty much anything with that. Bottles, cans, some bottles it won't break. But, and there are stronger air rifles. That's a starting point for a new hunter. We've all had a Red Rodder BB gun. Lots of fun. Starting to rain, we're going to go back inside, so stay with us. Okay, there it was, the infamous Red Rodder BB gun in action. Just laid that can of soda in that water bottle. Little sniper action going there, 20 yards. A lot of fun. It's always been a lot of fun. This is about my 3rd one of these. And when I go on vacation, I take this with me. And I like to keep my shooting skills short. Very quiet. Soda cans are cheap. And it keeps the muscle memory in action, even though there's no optical in there. That's how I started out my hunting career as a junior hunter at a ripe old age of 8 years old. Here's my Bear fiberglass bow. This is also where I started as a bow hunter. And what we would do is we would have a seltzer bale Basically, it wasn't a hay bale, it was round. It was about 36 inches across, and we would have a flattened plastic milk jug on there, and I would go out there and shoot arrows all day. At the ripe old age of 8 years old, and I had about 4 years to go before I could hunt, because we had no junior hunting program at the time. And a lot of states now have hunting classes you can take in school to promote hunting as a sport, because it actually is, it's a lifelong activity. And when I hit the age of 12, I bought a Jennings compound bow, which is what they call a youth bow, and it has 50% let off fiberglass limbs, and I'm not sure what the riser was made out of. It was fairly heavy, and it had little tiny wheels, and it was set at 40 pounds. And then as I grew, you could change the wheels to put bigger wheels on, so I could get it up to 60 pounds. And did shoot a few deer with that. It was a very slow bow, and a lot of times the deer had to have a habit of ducking your arrow because they can hear it whistling while it's coming. So you had to compensate for that, and you had to be fairly close. Unlike the bows now, which fly over 250 feet per second, some are past 300 feet per second. Definitely put your odds in favor if you're a compound bow hunter. This bow here, there's my dad's old license. This bow here is a 45-pound bear recurve. You can see the old camo job on here. Basically, it was a stick with different colors. The old quiver here, it's electrical taped on there so it doesn't slide around. It's left-handed. I did shoot this a few times. Kind of got a 5 or 6 inch group, but because I'm right-handed, it's hard for me to shoot. That's what we used back in the early days. Basically, we all hunted with a stick bow. I'm not sure what year the compound bows came out. I killed a lot of trees with my Jennings compound, a lot of sticks. Scared a lot of deer away because I had no idea what I was doing. It was a huge learning curve for me. First deer kill with a bow, Schuylkill County. It was up in a big hemlock. My dad was about 50 yards behind me, up in a big hemlock, and we were watching the deer come between us. And I had a tracker string on it. It screws in front of your riser, and it looks like dental floss. It has a clip that goes on your arrow, and that was supposed to help you find your deer after you hit it. So I heard a doe came up. I picked out the biggest doe in the front, pulled it back, let it fly, and landed about 10 feet in front of it. The string tracker actually slowed my arrow down enough where it didn't make it to the deer. Cut the dental floss. Basically, it looks like dental floss in the tracker. So I cut the dental floss off, and I'm about 50 feet in the air on the side of a steep bank. So I pulled all that back up, put it back in my tree, stuck another arrow in there, and I was shooting the newer bear broadheads that screw in the aluminum arrows. Another herd of deer came by, and I let one go at the second one, and that one connected. Slow as that arrow was going, it was probably only going around 200 feet per second, but you could hear the impact, and the deer ran about 100 yards. We waited about an hour, crawled down the tree. My dad saw everything unfold in front of me. Proceeded to track the deer. It went up the hill about 10 yards, and then it went downhill, so I knew what it was done for. Nice doe. Took us about 2 hours to drag that out of the woods. First harvest of a deer with an early compound bow, flying at a whopping 200 feet per second. First doe was very memorable for me. That was my first archery harvest. There's the tail. You don't necessarily have to harvest a mature buck. Any deer will work for a junior hunter. It's a memory that you'll have for the rest of your life because you shot that with your family or friends. I used to go to my grandparents at least once a week, and we would all sit on the back porch and shoot at stuff with a 22 and a 12 gauge. Grandfather had this old single shot shotgun. He used to take it to Canada all the time because they had property up there. We used to hunt grouse and keep the porcupine population under control because they were so overrun. They were killing a lot of their maple trees, which they were making maple syrup from. So he pulled out this old shotgun. My dad was standing there. He's like, "Hey, you want to shoot my 12 gauge? Yeah, I'll shoot your 12 gauge. My dad's sitting there looking at me, laughing. Grandpop's laughing at me. Pulled out this big giant green shell. It was some kind of shell he got in Canada. They were shooting geese with it, so it was pretty hefty. Heard that thump, a 12 gauge slide in the pipe, close it up, lock it, pull the hammer back, held it up, pulled the trigger. All I saw, everything went black. I landed about 6 foot backwards on the ground looking up with a bloody nose. And there they were, both laughing at me. If you're new to guns and you're not sure, somebody says, hey, want to shoot my 12 gauge? Say, no, I'm good. You shoot it first and I'll see what it does, and then I'll think about if I want to shoot it or not. Yeah, I fell for that. It's like I got an uppercut on that and a bloody nose all at the same time. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button.